Good late Wednesday evening. I'm certified meteorologist Nick Kelly checking in on this January 10th, 2018. Didn't feel like a January day for today. Granted, it did this morning with temperatures right around freezing in some spots, but with that good south breeze today ahead of our next storm system, a taste of early spring with highs in many spots into the lower to middle 60s. So it was a nice day if you had any outdoor plans, but by tomorrow afternoon it's going to feel 30 or 40 degrees colder thanks to our next system that we'll be working in. And that's what we're going to primarily focus on with this update for you. Let's just start with a broad overview of what Thursday's system will do for us. As the system begins to work in late tonight into your Thursday morning, it will be warm enough, relatively speaking, for rain chances to begin with this system. As the colder air begins to filter in, we will see the rain start to switch over to a mix of freezing rain and sleet, especially going into late Thursday morning and into the afternoon, especially by lunchtime. By the time enough colder air works in place with moisture still left around late tomorrow afternoon and into Thursday evening before we clear things out, anything left over will be a period of relatively light snow. How much of what could we see? We'll break that down for you in good time. For the time being, the last live look from 7th and Range Line from earlier this evening. Over the east side of Joplin, traffic below moving just fine, while the skies above have shown some cloud cover begin to pick up, but in general we're looking quiet over the city of Joplin. Look at the numbers for today. 32 degrees. There was a time where we had a break in the south breeze that allowed us to drop to the freezing mark at the airport in Joplin. Then once the south breeze picked back up, we shot all the way up to 65 this afternoon. Keep in mind, we should be averaging about 44 degrees for an afternoon high. So quite warm, relatively speaking, but still not quite close to the record of 69 set back in 1990. Last check out the currents we had at the airport in Joplin had a reading of 52 with the south wind at 16, gusts occasionally close to 20, 25, even 30 miles per hour. And the humidity starting to climb back up too at 89%. Look at afternoon highs all across the board. There were some spots on the Kansas side, north and west of Columbus and Pittsburgh, that saw temperatures only into the upper 50s for today. Everybody else, lower to middle 60s. I think even the warmest spot on the board today went to Miami, where you topped out at 66 this afternoon. And ever since we started the evening out, we've had temperatures consistently hold in the lower to middle 50s across much of the area, thanks to that south breeze. That'll keep at it as we go through the night. Again, it's worth noting that breeze because it was very noticeable throughout the afternoon and into this evening. We had the wind all day long, south at about 15 to 25 miles per hour, and even with gusts near 30 at times. And we'll keep that breeze up as we go throughout the night. You can see there before the 11 o'clock hour, sustained wind speeds. Again, 15 to 25. We'll keep at it as we go throughout the rest of the night. The Skywatch Storm Tracker had us quiet, even though we have passing cloud cover throughout the day. I would disregard those radar echoes. We don't have rain in the area quite yet. We'll have to wait for the cold front out west to work on in. That's what's causing snow out in western Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, and even some rain trying to work east of Colby and eventually over to about Hayes, Hoisington, Great Bend, and eventually that'll get to Salina through the overnight hours. As far as winter weather advisories go, most of the area isn't under one. It doesn't mean we get away from this system scot-free. We do have a few counties on the Kansas side clipped by the winter weather advisory until noon tomorrow, mainly Anderson and Coffee counties. The abundance of advisories, though, stretches across much of the state of Kansas and ventures north, clipping the Kansas City metro, going all the way up to the Canadian border as you work through the northern plains and the upper Midwest. And you see in the white and the orange-reddish color there, winter storm warnings and even some blizzard warnings where we have quite an impressive system unfolding up there. That's where the better concentration of moisture is. So for us with this system, we're going to keep the amounts relatively light. Again, we'll break down those amounts in a moment. First and foremost, this upper level low, which was just stuck in the desert southwest for the past few days, the same system that caused the mudslides and the flooding out in California, that has finally ejected out of the desert southwest. The brunt of this system stays primarily off to our north and west as it continues to move along, but it's doing its part not only in bringing the eventual cold winter air back in here, but also allowing this cold front off to our west to start working on in. So let's time out your Thursday. Let's see how the day will unfold. Going through the rest of the night and into Thursday morning, you can see by midnight, primarily lower to middle 50s. And we will continue to hold there as we go through the rest of the overnight and as your morning drive gets underway. As the system edges closer, warm enough for rain chances to begin. As we go through the rest of the morning drive to about 9 o'clock, you can see the front working through our Kansas and even Oklahoma counties. The northwest breeze starts bringing in the colder air. That's what will allow the rain to start transitioning to a mix of rain and sleet on the Kansas side, while the rest of the area deals with rain. But by the time we hit the late morning and into about lunchtime, that is when enough cold air overtakes the area where most of us were going to be dealing with a freezing rain or sleet mix. And some of us on the Kansas side could be cold enough to see some snow begin as the afternoon gets underway. By the time we hit late afternoon, temperatures are generally cold enough across much of the area for any moisture left over to be mainly light snow before we start clearing things out going into your Thursday evening. So here's how temperatures look as we go through the day tomorrow. We start quite mild in the morning with temperatures hovering right around 53. As we get closer to lunchtime, especially late in the morning, everybody's going to see the temperature drop with the front passing through and that north breeze kicking in at 15 to 25 miles per hour. That means temperatures by lunchtime for most of you, right around 34 degrees, and then we drop into the upper 20s for your Thursday afternoon. Again, that's almost a 40-degree drop considering where Joplin topped out at for today. Again, with that high, amazing high of 65. As far as how much of what to expect, since there's not a lot of deep moisture with this system, all the deep moisture is confined up into the northern plains, we will have relatively light amounts of everything, really. Most spots around here, a tenth to about a quarter of an inch of rain. We're not looking at a big soaker here. Neither are we looking at a big ice storm event. In general, as far as freezing rain and sleet amounts, let's just say a tenth of an inch or less. I will say, though, as the afternoon drive gets underway, as temperatures drop, there could be slick spots on the roads, so let's keep that in mind at the very least if you will be out and about, especially tomorrow afternoon and Thursday evening. And as far as snow amounts, it's not looking promising for you snow lovers out there. Generally, if enough snow sticks around by late tomorrow afternoon and into Thursday evening, maybe an inch or less. I think most spots, if we could try, generally half an inch or less. There could be a spot or two that may try to hit an inch, but we're not looking at big snow amounts here. On the backside of the system, we dropped to 14 on Friday, top out at 29 for Friday afternoon. We stay in the upper 20s on Saturday. Going into Sunday and Martin Luther King Day, a system or two could try to slide by, giving us a few snow showers, but that keeps temperatures cold. 33 Sunday, 30 on Martin Luther King Day. How about 8 to start Tuesday morning? We only rebound to 24 on Tuesday, and we'll try to go back to 33 before another system tries to get us act together by late next week. Have a good night. Have a great Thursday, and be careful on the roads if you will be out and about on your Thursday.